Under the Australian Fair Work Act, discrimination is when someone treats you differently, less favourably, based on a legally protected personal attribute. What is a protected attribute? Race, colour, sex, sexual orientation, physical or mental disability, marital status or carer's responsibility, pregnancy, religion, political opinion, national extraction, social origin, breastfeeding, gender identity, intersex, experiencing family or domestic violence. Let's see some examples. Example number 1. Dimitri is an experienced barista with excellent references. He applies for a vacancy at a local coffee shop. During the job interview, the manager asks him how old he is. Dimitri tells the manager he is 57 years old. The next day, the manager calls Dimitri to tell him that he didn't get the job because the coffee shop wants a younger, fresher look for their baristas. They have hired a 17-year-old who is less qualified for the job. Example number 2. Sally is employed at an advertising firm. Recently, Sally applied for a promotion for a vacant account manager position. During the interview, Sally mentions to the manager that she is pregnant and plans on taking her entitlement to parental leave. Although Sally is highly qualified for the job, her manager tells her that she did not receive the promotion because she would be taking her parental leave. Denying Sally this position because she is pregnant is prohibited under the law. So, what type of impact does discrimination have on someone? The impact of discrimination can have an effect on a person's psychological and physical well-being. Reduced work performance, increased absenteeism, loss of self-esteem and feelings of isolation, deteriorating relationships with colleagues, friends, and family, anxiety, distress and panic attacks, sleep disturbance, depression, physical illness and general poor health, loss of appetite, headaches, self-destructive behaviours such as self-harm and substance abuse, lack of motivation or passion in their usual interests. So, what if you've experienced discrimination? Here are some things you can do. Address it if comfortable and safe to do so. In some cases, the individual may not be aware that they have crossed a boundary with you. Review the company policies. Refer to the company grievance policy. This policy refers to the reporting procedures and provide insight into a formal and informal investigation. Document everything. Keep a record of incident, including dates, times, witnesses, and what happened. This documentation can be crucial if you need to report the discrimination. Report the behavior. Report their behavior to a manager or HR. They will be able to address the situation and take you through next steps. At any time, you can speak to your manager, anyone from the management team or HR about your experience. A formal investigation is generally conducted by HR and in a manner that is fair, unbiased and consistent. A common reaction we hear is, "I don't want to make a complaint because how I will be perceived or treated." In line with our grievance policy, no action will be taken against an employee for raising a grievance in good faith or assisting someone to raise a grievance in good faith. If we find that victimization has occurred for the complainant or a witness to an incident, the business will take appropriate action. The respondent, who the complaint is about, threatens, intimidates, or treats the complainant, the individual who made the complaint, differently. A witness has given evidence in support of another colleague and is then demoted by their manager because the manager and the complainant are friends outside of work. This would be considered victimization. Now, what happens if you're the one that's being accused of bullying, harassment, discrimination, or any type of inappropriate behavior? Being accused of any type of inappropriate behavior can be upsetting and may come as a shock, but it is important to be open to feedback from others and, if necessary, be prepared to change your behavior. Here are a few things to keep in mind. If someone approaches you about your behavior, try to remain calm and avoid aggravating what is likely to be an already difficult situation. Listening carefully to the other person. Don't try to justify your behavior. One of the most common responses, "It's joke," or "we were joking around." If someone is telling you they feel uncomfortable or to stop, that's your cue to stop or change your behavior. If a formal investigation is being conducted by HR, you will have an opportunity to respond to the allegations, and an outcome will be advised. HR will explain the process to you and what's required during this time. Further information on the process can be found in the grievance policy. The consequences and effect of unacceptable work behavior or behavior not aligned with our policies and culture will vary depending on various factors. For the team, heightened stress, anxiety, less productivity, and low levels of morale. Employee burnout, employee turnover, feeling unsafe or in a negative environment, feeling that bad behavior is normal and should be accepted. For the employee, engaging in inappropriate behavior, including but not limited to verbal counsel or warning, additional training such as referring to relevant policies and doing a refresher on training modules. A formal written warning. In some cases, it may be a combination of things, or anything else that may be deemed relevant. In extreme cases, termination of employment may be the outcome. As a leader or manager in the business, how you engage, respond and address any type of concern or issues will have a significant impact on the culture of the business and your team. Demonstrating genuine concern and a commitment to creating a safe and respectful environment is crucial. Call out bad behavior immediately. Remember, if you say or do nothing, it's as harmful as the person engaging in bad behavior. Listen actively. Let the team member explain the situation without interrupting or making assumptions. Reassure and support. Commit to finding a solution. Take immediate action. Depending on what you've been told, you may need to reach out to HR. Follow up and check in. Keep the person informed about the steps being taken and check in with them regularly to ensure they feel safe and supported. You can find more information on the websites listed here. Under the Australian Fair Work Act, discrimination is when someone treats you differently, less favourably, based on a legally protected personal attribute. The impact of harassment can have short or long-term effects on an individual or group. If you've experienced discrimination, you can address it, document everything, review company policies, and/or report the behaviour. The expectations of employee behaviour also extend to work events and social functions. You still represent the business, even if it's a different setting. No action will be taken against an employee for raising a grievance in good faith or assisting someone to raise a grievance in good faith. If we find that victimization has occurred for the complainant or a witness to an incident, the business will take appropriate action. Being accused of any type of inappropriate behavior can be upsetting and come as a shock, but it is important to be open to feedback from others. Managers and leaders are held to a higher standard to ensure bad behavior is stamped out. And there's always support. You're now at the end of the training. Well done. If you have any further questions, please reach out to your manager or HR.